the choice to spend some time to practice meditation and to support the community with your presence, the great present of your presence. I like to invite our community members who are here. I think it would be very nourishing if we just went one by one and said a little of a hello and just a tidbit about our experience with meditation and also, our experience with the group, if we have any. All right, let's go one by one. And you must do it, no choice. Okay? Let's start maybe alphabetically. So maybe we can start with Andre. Introduce yourself a little bit and what your experience is with meditation and this community.
Yeah, thanks, Bhante. Actually, my name is Andre, but
Andre.
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I've been following this Discord group for a little bit now. It's been a year and a half, more or less, but I've had some time off and we've followed a few lessons sometimes. But it's been a long time since I started from meditation. And yeah, I mean, it's been very good. Every time I do a guided meditation, it relaxes me a lot and it helps me also to focus and to let go of a stressful day, for example, today I had kind of a stressful day, so yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This is a surprise, actually.
Great. Welcome. Andre?
Andre.
Andre. Okay. And then let's go to Ari.
Hi there, everyone. I've been in here once, and it was quite nice. It was very insightful, very calm. Um, I've been in this Discord maybe a month or two, I think. As far as meditation, I've done it off and on for probably a year, maybe 2 years, but it's just been recently that I've been trying to do it every day. I'm still not always doing it every day, but when I do feel a lot calmer, so I want to continue doing that.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
How about Bhante? Bhante's next. Okay. Hello, friends. I am Bhante. I have been practicing meditation and learning from Buddhism for about 10 years, better part of 10 years. And I've been a monk for 5 years. And this community, I've been the main facilitator and the main monk in the community for about, maybe it's around 2 years or something that this space has been ongoing. And I'm very happy to be here and look forward to practicing with everyone. Okay, Brian. Can you introduce yourself, Brian? Okay, let's go to Caroline.
Hey, apologies, I don't have the option to turn on my camera. So my name is Caroline. I've been in this group for 6 months, maybe, and have been attending the meditations, and I learned a great deal about helping me stay more in the present moment and not looking ahead or behind, but just right here, and also about good deeds doing good deeds, being able to consistently. So, hi everyone. Hopefully next time I'll turn my camera on or can do it. Thanks, Bhante.
Okay, thank you, Caroline. and Chesh.
Hello, everyone. I'm Chesh. I have been a meditator and a Buddhist for a little over 20 years now, and I've been involved in this group for maybe a couple of years. I don't remember when I joined, but I don't get to be as active as I would like to be, so today is really a treat. Thank you all.
Okay, how about Tara? Tara, you'd like to introduce yourself? Say hello. Maybe another time. Okay, Amelia.
Hello, Bhante. Hello, Sangha. I'm sorry, my camera doesn't seem to be working. So I've been, I started meditating about 8 years ago, but I did it because I read it in some science magazine. It was very scientific almost for me. And I meditated for a while, but then I lost motivation, and you know, I when I found this sangha and a Hindu sangha, I started meditating again, and this time a lot better because now it was part of a community and part of a context, and it was completely different. So these sanghas have made all the difference for me. And this particular sangha, I've learned a lot about um, not trying to understand things or not trying to know things, letting go of that attachment. So I'm really grateful for that. So thank you very much.
Okay, Evra.
Hi, my name's Evra. I'm not quite sure how long I've been dropping into these video chats, but I've followed Bhante for a few months now in order to deepen my practice in meditation. I am a yoga teacher, and I found that I had more questions my yoga teachers were able to answer, and that I was very unsteady mentally, no matter how much I practiced physically, which has been very humbling to learn about. So part of my path is showing up to be present in community rather than on my mat alone.
Okay, Gloria.
Yes, good afternoon. I'm here to learn. I have, I've been studying meditation for a few months, and I have noticed a change by getting up, relaxing myself before I start my day in meditation. I'm just here to understand things, to help myself, to detach and learn more about my mind.
Okay, thank you, Gloria. James.
Hi everybody. It's not my first time here. I'm on the Discord on and off, not really on a set schedule or like a pattern, but I've been meditating here and there, and just recently I've been noticing the help that it's been giving me. I've been more in the present moment, noticing negative emotions that could affect my thought, and instead of it trying to suppress it, I've been able to notice it and let it pass instead, which has helped me a lot.
Thank you, James, for being here. And Mike. Want to go ahead, Mike?
Oh, thank you, Bhante. I've been practicing meditation for quite a while now. Not sure how long, probably 5 or 6 years. But I just recently started getting involved with this Sangha about a year ago. I haven't regularly been attending, but I have a Sangha that I practice with that is in the style of Plum Village, and I practice with them about once a week.
Okay, thank you. Robert?
Sure. I'm Robert. I've been with this Sangha for about almost 2 years, and I found Bhante on Reddit when there was a Twitch-like video channel, RPAN, I think it was called. I tried practicing on my own and educating myself, but it becomes difficult, and it's easy to, I think it's easy to sort of lose focus. So I joined, and I'm happy to be here and be with the group, learning to, separate or relax that sense of self, calming the monkey mind, and being able to carry mindfulness throughout my day. So I'm glad to be here.
Okay, Simcha.
Sorry, some technical difficulties. I think I've been a part of the Sangha with Bhante for probably a year. I think I ran into him randomly on Humans Being Bros and Reddit, but I don't know if that's the first time or if that's just one of the places, but just what he had to say really, really resonated with me, and I had some Buddhist friends, and I was like, I think I really just need to, like that last person said, I think Mike, I'm sorry, I can't remember which name it was, but about calming the monkey mind, and just trying, like someone said, to sit with things and let things just kind of flow through me. Become a better person.
Okay, thank you, Simcha. Does anyone else feel inspired to share how long they've been in the community, what their experience is with meditation? Anyone else feel inspired? Welcome, Chris. Okay. So let's begin our meditation class or community meditation practice or whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter what you call it. Let's practice. Let's see what it is. Let's explore it, right? And we'll start with 3 sounds of the bell. So go ahead and adjust your robe, adjust your posture a little bit, get into your meditation position, whatever that may be. Put on your listening ears, put on your seeing eyes, and we'll listen to 3 sounds of the bell, and then we'll see what happens. And we can listen to the sound of the bell as if we were listening to the sound of truth, as if we were listening to the sound of freedom, as if we were listening to the sound of the ending of suffering. Right? As we listen to the bell as if it was the absolutely perfect, most ideal, most direct teaching to help us get out of our rut, our confusion. And maybe it's not that, but we open our ears to hear in that way, to find out about it, right? To listen to it in that way, to see about it. Okay, so let's listen to the sound of the bell. Okay, I feel very grateful, very happy to be here with everyone. I don't want to say that I am a spiritual teacher or meditation master or anything like that, but I do want to say that I have experience practicing meditation and being a facilitator for doing the work, and in this case, doing meditation. It's been my experience in life that if I do what I should not do, or if I do unskillful activities, I feel suffering. I feel a burden. I feel heaviness in my heart. And sometimes it's not as easy as turning on the TV to get rid of that heaviness or that suffering. Sometimes just need to wait, and somehow that storm passes. That difficulty comes to an end, not really by any actions that I take, but somehow it's the nature of storms, it's the nature of sufferings, it's the nature of complicated situations and thinking to pass away, to end, to finish. So I like to idealistically approach meditation in that way, opening myself up to experience the finishing and the ending and the resolving of phenomena, so that there are sensations in the body or sounds, right? Or sights, seeing something, seeing happening, sounds happening, breathing is happening. You may feel a particular way right now. And to allow the passing away of those things that come up to happen. This seems to me to be one of the best ways to face storms, to face difficulties, right? To face heaviness when it comes up, like you get anxious, you get depressed, you're hungover, you encounter sickness, mental or physical, right? The most wonderful thing that we could do is find a comfortable, stable position to sit in or to be in, and just be there with those feelings, with that experience, whatever it, as ridiculous as it is, as enticing as it is, as boring as it is, as uncomfortable as it is, to just sit upright and stable and to be with that, to sit with that, to breathe with that, to relax with that feeling, with that thought, with that situation. We cannot always do that. If we could always do that, we would all be super monks, and we wouldn't have to buy our flights. We would just fly around by our merit, right? By our meditation mind. We would go to this place, that place, just fly right through the sky. So we can't always do it, but we can feed our intention. We can feed what we prioritize in our life. We can feed the context of our life, as someone was sharing before. Right? Meditation without a context, or doing good deeds without a context, can be less than fulfilling, less than nourishing. So creating a context in our life of being good, of doing good deeds, doing actions of generosity, taking care. And we kind of know what it's like when we just get completely tangled up in our mistakes, or when we break our own heart, or when we, through our actions, cause suffering for another. We know what that's like. We have a familiarity with it. It's quite miserable. It's quite difficult. But to reify, to sanctify, to establish this really sincere, deep intentionality of being good and doing good. What does this feel like? Right? What is the flavor? What is the sense of this prioritization of being a great person? And when we bring that up, this is the space of curiosity. Because what me being good means is different from what you being good means. But we don't philosophize about it. We don't intellectualize. We don't think about being good. We kind of enter into the intentionality of being good. Period. Right? It's like a child, an innocent child that may have gone off the path in some way. They're being naughty, making a mess. And what does the parent say to that child? Do they read them about Karl Marx? You know, are they giving them a lecture about morality or ethics? No. What do they say? They say, be good. Be good. Meditation is all about being good. Meditation is all about doing good. And this curiosity, this sincerity, this interest in, well, what is that? What is it to be good? This is a wonderful curiosity. This is a wonderful interest to have. This is a wonderful kind of confoundedness, not necessarily confused, but what is this? To be, to be good, but to be. And not relying on words and phrases or thoughts to answer that question. It's a really curious experience. Someone shared, gently redirect your attention to the present moment. But not to put reality into a box, not to put your life, your body, your mind into a box. What is this? Finding ourselves in this place of a great questioning, a great looking into, and a responsibility to not put the answer to this questioning, to know that the answer to this questioning is not outside of ourselves. When we say, what is this, or what is the present moment, that's okay. Don't put it on Gloria. Don't put it on Discord. Don't put it on your computer. It's not outside yourself. And a way we can recognize that is if you were to have a serious stomach ache right now. So it's not the answer to this question of what is this? What is reality? What is truth? What is everything? This question that cannot be answered by anything or anyone or any person or any place outside yourself. And so we turn the mind around. We are no longer looking to words and phrases, outside explanations. No longer looking to people, places, ideas, or stories. It's the looking itself that we start to connect with, that we start to work with. We can't always do this, isn't it? There are situations, there is a karma, there's a cause and effect, there's a life happens to us, a storm comes along, and we can't turn the mind around. We just distract, right? It's like we're running on a treadmill of the causes and conditions we find ourselves in, the situations we find ourselves in. But then, if we concern ourselves with what we can call meditation, or if we concern ourselves with what we can call Buddhism, or the Monk Life Discord server, Monk Life Meditation Community, we find ourselves in a context, we find the causes and conditions that allow the turning of the mind to stop and see. To stop and see. And there's no force in this. There's no control in this. Actually, this mechanism, this feeling, this attachment we have to controlling, right? And to self-identifying with phenomena is what keeps us trapped in this cycle of consumption, right? Whether it's food or media or certain kind of relationships. Because rather than allowing the seeing to take place, the experiencing to take place, this authentic looking to take place, we are identifying with, we are grasping onto this and that, this word and that phrase, this thought and that feeling in the body. So we put down, not discriminating, not saying, like not a bad thing, but we set down on the table our knowing. This nama and rupa, or name and form, or this body and mind, mental phenomena and physical phenomena, are just as sharp as the executioner's blade. Every moment, life and death is knocking on the door, saying, hey, I'm right here. Impermanence. So stop and see. We may be looking for some kind of answer or some kind of understanding or even some kind of meditation method, right? But what good is that going to do you in the face of impermanence? This body has already been born, so what's on the itinerary? It's like getting on a plane to fly somewhere and not recognizing that the plane is going to land. One way or another, it's coming back down to earth, isn't it? So this body that has been born and is here right now, it's a one-way ticket to pass away or to change form, whatever you want to call it. This body experience right here and right now is the body of impermanence. This mind, this mental state that has been born, that has arisen, that is here right now, it's going, gone. It's a home run every time, every moment. So allow the stopping or allow the allowing to take place. Zen Master Sung San, Korean Zen Master who came to America, he said, only don't know. Only don't know. And like I said, we can't always do that. We get caught in the current. The wave comes in and it's a big wave and we're under the water and we can't get our head above water. That's how life is sometimes. Don't let that discourage you, but rather inspire you to look right now. Not to do a meditation exercise, but to look at your nature. Turn the mind around. What is this? The Buddha can't answer it for you. I certainly can't answer it for you. And maybe we can't really answer it for ourselves, but we can have the authenticity, the depth, the wholeheartedness, the curiosity, the sincerity, the bravery to really ask this question, what is this? if we are approaching our life, let's say our spiritual life, to get something or achieve something or to build some muscle, then we are running on a treadmill thinking we're heading to a destination. This is why people quit. This is why people leave. This is why people stop turning the mind around. Because you're arrogant. You're full of desire, full of fear. What is this? Ask it for 10 years. Some of the Zen master, they say, sit for 30 years, then we'll talk. So what's this mindset that we're going to sit here for a period of time, or we're going to do some exercise and then we're going to get what we want? Why would you come to do meditation for that? That's what the fridge is for. That's what YouTube is for. That's what TikTok is for. You don't need to meditate for that. No getting, no achieving, no solving. No success. No failure. Just, what is this? For 10 years. And this is an invitation to enter into timelessness. Now, when we are beginning meditators, when we are taking our footsteps on the path, the breath is there, isn't it? And somehow we need to learn how to use our ego in this case, right? Because there's a lot of ego in our lives. There's a lot of ego going around. We know about our ego, right? I'm going to drink oat milk. I'm not going to drink dairy milk because that's better. And that makes me a more righteous person, which is great. The breath that you're taking right now is more valuable to you, the way that you are right now, and will continue to be, right, for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, what have you. The breath that you're taking right now is more valuable to you than the car of your dreams. It's more valuable to you than gold bullion. I mean, it's embarrassing to even say it, but it's more valuable to you than $100,000 in your bank account. $100,000 cash, whatever. Really. So curiosity about the breathing and about the breath that's happening right now is not as inaccessible as it may appear to be. It's just to direct the mind towards the breathing with that little bit of ego insight, ego understanding that, whoa, this breath is worth more to me than any material object I could imagine. And so it's with that humbleness and maybe a little bit of salt and pepper of insight that we really do turn the mind around. We turn the mind towards the breathing. and we settle all this secondary thinking. We are aware of the breathing as the breathing. We are aware of bodily sensations as bodily sensations. We are aware of sound as sound, mental phenomena as mental phenomena. And I like to think of this awareness or this presence, this kind of showing up, as really having a quality of forgiveness, an energy of forgiveness. And who doesn't need to be forgiven? Now, as we get further into meditation, especially as beginners, and to have a beginner's mind is we're all beginners, you know. But these cause and conditions of being online, you know, watching through a stream or just being on a Discord chat, I really encourage you to feel the flexibility, feel the openness of the meditation mind. So we can lay down, we can stand up, we can breathe more deeply, right? We can open our eyes, we can close them, and this meditation mind, this turning the mind around to this state of intimacy with just experiencing, is accessible, is available, is invitable. And we invite it again and again and again. In terms of effort or struggle or force in meditation, you can use a little bit of effort or strong or fight, but actually it's more like an embracing, right? So we can feel the difficult or painful sensations in our legs, or certain thoughts can come up, or you know, Bhante just won't stop talking. I mean, come on. But we kind of offer this this forgiveness, this gentleness, this being with, this non-conflict of our awareness to those feelings, to those sensations. And a part of that offering can be that we move our legs, or like I said, we lay down, or we open our eyes, or we move a little bit. But try to be with that movement and that adjusting as much as you can before it gets to this point of conflict, because we're not here to fight with ourselves. There doesn't really need to be any fight in it. It's more our willingness, a lot of willingness to be with this breathing, body, mind, heart experience. only, don't know, don't solve, don't fix, don't understand, don't control, don't not control. Aware is just aware, and that's very fine. The breathing is just breathing. The body is just bodying. And with this aware that is just aware, forgive the mind. Forgive mental formations. Past, future, present, inside, outside. Forgive. How to forgive? Aware is just aware, and that is so fine. So although we can certainly be pulled towards a desire, and we may feel something uncomfortable that we want to avoid, aware is just aware. Coming home is just coming home. Breathing is just breathing. And in that solidity, in that grounding, clarity is there. But that is the clarity of aware is just aware. That is not the clarity of someone. It is not concerned with a particular place or situation or experience. So that fridge mindset, that TikTok mindset, that YouTube like, dislike, Netflix mindset, we forgive it for a little bit. We see it there, the picking and choosing, the going in different directions, the being pulled, and we offer it. Aware is just aware. Breathing is just breathing. Feeling is just feeling. A thought is just a thought. And it's so fine. Okay, dear friends, we can take a bow if we like. One of the nice things we can do when we finish meditation, we can take a bow. And let's take a moment to massage our face, our head. If there's any points in your body that had a tension in them or a tightness, you can stretch those out. You can massage them. Okay, so let's open the space for questions or sharing experience. Thank you all for coming and being here today. Go ahead, Ari. This is I tell you, I wouldn't be where I am now if I didn't get trapped. And we always think of traps as kind of, I don't want to get trapped. I don't want to get stuck, right? But actually, the best things that I've ever had happen to me in life were getting stuck in a trap, right? And so meditation is like this wholesome trap, or this good trap that we get stuck in. And one of the conditions of hosting, being online when we host these sessions, is that it's a very open trap. It's so easy to come and go. Whereas if you were in the meditation center, if we were in the meditation hall together, and you know Bhante and you like him and you're there to meditate, doesn't matter how long the meditation goes, you're going to keep sitting there, right? You're not going to run away. And then at the end, you're like, oh, wow, I feel that worked great. But what can happen in this kind of environment is that easy to leave early, and then we don't have that feeling of success. We don't have that feeling that we made it, and I don't want anyone to miss out on that, because of course you made it. You're here, right? You're present. A single mindful breath, that's it. You got it. So when we are meditating, you control your breath, you don't control your breath, you just sit there. Aware is just aware. Breathing is just breathing. And that is what we are orienting ourselves towards. That is what we are linking into, right? That's the download that we are receiving. The breath is just breathing. Breathing is just breathing. Seeing is just seeing. Hearing is just hearing. And to really meditate on that, or contemplate that, or enter into that, we can go even deeper. We can go beyond that, right? We can go beyond breathing. We can go beyond the body, go beyond the mind, sure, right? That'll happen anyway. This body and mind will vanish. So when we practice meditation, we are orienting ourselves to the truth, to the reality that breathing is just breathing, seeing is just seeing, hearing is just hearing, walking is just walking. So what are we making such a fuss about? What are we spending all this energy on? Right? Sitting is just sitting. And the context of that, the Buddhist context of that, is that this is like an insight, right? Wow, seeing is really just seeing. That's quite true. And what goes along with that wisdom, what the expression of comes out of that insight, that wisdom, which is very clear. Seeing is just seeing. Maybe it doesn't mean anything to you, but it is like that. Compassion, the wish for suffering to end, period. Not deals and transactions and explanations and justifications and reasoning. No, just the witnessing of suffering and the wish for that suffering to end, period. That's what we're working with. That's what we are practicing and developing. Now, what I can say about breathing is just breathing is that you can experiment with your breathing when you practice meditation, but to stay with it, to get involved with it enough to do that, you've got to be inspired, okay? And you've got to get yourself into a trap. There are all kinds of different traps, right? Maybe your trap is faith. Maybe you see Bhante and say, wow, I really trust him, so I'm just going to stay. I'm just going to listen. I'm going to, keep going, even though it's online and I can leave just like that and nobody's going to know, right? That's one way. Or you can take yourself for a walk and practice mindful breathing while you're walking. You can't snap your fingers and be back in your on your couch playing video games. You got to walk back. And you said you were going to do walking meditation. We can also go to a meditation center, or we can take vows, or we can become a monk or a nun. I'm trapped. I'm stuck. I am stuck. So I'm trying to figure this thing out. But, trust me, I'm trapped. I'm locked in. All right, so whatever happens, this is what I got to come back to. This is what I wake up with. This is what I go to sleep with, whether it's a good day or a bad day. And that brings so much joy and happiness and peace and freedom to my life, So don't get trapped by the trap, but know how to use traps, know how to use these difficulties, know how to use contexts so that we can practice more wholeheartedly and sincerely. Don't get too serious about it because everything's changing. We can't be fully in control, but be really sincere about it. And when you're really sincere about it, then you can try out. You can stretch with some serious practice. But don't be too serious about serious practice. Okay, thank you. That's lovely. Tara just shared something. Tara shared, what we are doing is so important. We better not take it too seriously. Yeah, there's definitely some truth to that. There's some loveliness in that. Would anyone else like to ask a question or share an experience? Okay, Seth, glad that you're here. Do you have a microphone, Seth? Can you speak? Want to give it a try? Yeah.
So I've tried to pick up spiritual practice, aiming for a maybe hopefully in this lifetime or maybe a closer lifetime for total awakening, enlightenment, however you name it. But what I struggled with in the beginning, a few times I try to reboot, try to again, I come back to it. That curiosity never left me. It's still burning inside of me. But every time I come back and I start, I fall flat on my face. I notice that I don't have enough patience because I struggle with a lot of posturing, mind wandering, a lot of stuff. So I just sort of get demotivated easily. That's what I noticed. I struggle with keeping it consistent, and so that's my struggle.
How long have you been meditating?
I started in 2020, I believe, in the pandemic, and I remember for a good moment, I remember every day meditating for an hour. It was a struggle. It was painful, but I do remember having maybe made some improvements. It fell off. I came back a year ago. I got demotivated again, back pains. I left again, and every time a crisis comes in my life, I try to run back to meditation to overcome suffering in some way. And then I struggle, and then it gets a little bit better, and then that's enough, and then I sort of forget about it. Life gets a little bit better, I forget about it, and then I come back. So it's a vicious cycle where I run back to meditation. It helps me a little, but it does not really. Uh, it's too. I don't have enough patience for it to open up more, and then I go back to normal life, and then I come back, and then go back, come back, go back. So that's what I'm struggling with. But I'm trying to figure out how can I have a consistent, unbreakable discipline for this. And I know discipline is not a good idea. It's sort of you have to just have this way of allowing and letting go of control and sort of all that sort of ideas. But I'm trying to reconcile discipline and surrendering.
How old are you?
I am 22.
And what meditation practice did you try before? What meditation master do you follow?
I don't have a meditation master. I do this all by myself.
So, how did you get informed about meditation, or what technique, or what encouragement?
I got informed by it through 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 philosophy. It started with my interest in philosophy. I got interested in the works of Douglas Harding and Richard Lang. It was very when I first read those books. It was and in a fun way. It was mind blowing. Reading them and reading a lot of non duality. It got even though it was very scary. This idea of no self, this idea of annihilation of death. It sparked something. It sparked some memories of my when I was a little bit younger of having these flashes of insight. I remember me being young and having this idea of holy moly, I exist as a being, something like that. And then that sentence as a young me sort of had this electric, energetic shift in my body. And to this day, I remember this idea of this sort of moment of everything sort of shifting, and then me being interested in philosophy and all that sort of stuff. That's how it first started. And through YouTube videos, through people talking about, oh, it's good for mental health, it's all that sort of stuff. I try to do it by myself. I don't have anybody near me that practices, and I come from a very anti Eastern household, anti anything other, uh, like my I come from a very Abrahamic religious household, so that's one of the aspects. So when I got into it, I tried to do it, and then Okay, I think I am yapping a little bit, but I'm gonna cut it short. I tried mindfulness and I tried an open monitoring and concentration.
Can you turn on your camera?
Let me try.
Okay. And what do you do for work?
I am I am community health worker and I do social work.
So what is your question?
How do I keep a consistent practice?
Where are you? Where do you live?
I live in the United States, specifically the state of Maine.
What is your education?
I finished high school. I'm planning to get into university. I'm a little bit late, but I don't know, I have an ambition to go to university. It's just high school.
Are you taking drug or substance?
None.
No substance?
Nope.
Are you keeping precept?
Yes. I'm trying to remember all the Buddhist precepts, but
So we
not
have
harming.
don't kill anything, so respect all life. You could do veganism is a very recommended. Don't take the properties of the others, so don't take what is not offered. Um, don't speak harshly or lie, and also don't spend too much time for idle speech or just chit-chatting. Don't commit sexual misconduct, which means be very careful with your sexual energy, with your sexual activity. And number 5, don't take drugs or intoxicants, especially alcohol. It's recommended not to drink alcohol. You are following most
Yeah,
of those precepts?
I am following most, but some of them I do struggle with.
So the foundation
Especially,
of consistency for sure is going to be being good and doing good and finding the supportive conditions for being good and doing good more and more, especially doing good in a way that is concerned with generosity, concerned with helping the others, serving the others, but not. It can be a part of a job, but it's especially doing actions of generosity. So your livelihood might be something that you're doing for money primarily, and doing more good deeds or doing more actions of generosity is something is going to be more able to be practiced consistently and to remember to do. Now, for the meditation side, um, if you want to practice more seriously, you need some community. So this group here is happening, and this is a great place to join and practice meditation. And you can see if my sharing, my facilitating is digestible for you or not. But really, we find a place to go and practice in community and to endure. So really, coming here and being miserable about Bhante's voice and meditating is much, much better than not meditating. 1,000 times better, actually. And this is accessible, and this is alive. This is happening. This is a community, right? So you can come and participate when the invitation is there, when the opportunity arises, right? Turn on your notifications. If a notification comes up, you hop in there. All right, this is it. At the like traditional Zen monasteries or Mahayana monasteries, then they have a temple bell or a wooden block. And before meditation or before some event is going to happen, somebody hits that block and you say, oh my goodness, the teacher is going to come out or it's going to be a meditation session. So we have that function on Discord. The monk bangs on the block and says, hey, we're going to have meditation, and then we gather together, right? And there's a lot of recordings of our past sessions, so you can kind of tune in. The other side, and this is important to understand, is that spirituality and spiritual life and being a meditator or a yogi, if that's something you're serious about, right? It's as real as being a police officer. It's as established as that. It's as practical as that. So when I say these things, I'm saying, look, put this on your wall. This is how you can show up and get involved in practice for sure, right? You can also go to Google Maps. You can search for Buddhist temple or meditation center, and you can start pilgrimage. You can start going to the different meditation center or Buddhist center nearby you. You might be surprised, right? And then finally, we nourish ourselves with Dhamma talks from Buddhist teachers or meditation masters. You mentioned Douglas Harding, right? And that's great. That's a good starting point. But there's also a lot of teachers like Thich Nhat Hanh that you can make use of. Right? So it's precepts, support. Precepts are meditation. Sila is smriti. Sila is mindfulness. Virtue is mindfulness. So if you prioritize following precepts closely, you're prioritizing mindfulness, which will give you access to deeper meditation, which will incite or invite insight, right? Experiential understanding about reality. And the Sangha, community, seeking out community and keep feeding yourself with Dhamma. Those are practical stepping stones to use. And concerning yourself with Buddhism or concerning yourself with Bhante or concerning yourself with your community, it's a touchstone, right? It's a solid point. And that mindset, that Amazon mindset, right? Or that YouTube meal mindset where we're trying to find the great video to watch while we eat, or the movie or whatever it is, right? The food's getting cold. I got to find this, movie or something, right, to watch. That's not going to cut it in the spiritual world, because we don't have that rich of a tradition or a culture as Westerner or American, right? Abrahamic faith is a little bit different from the Dhammic faith. So it's not like there's meditation centers and yogis and Buddhist monks all over the place to get involved with. So we've just got to use what's in front of us. And then hopefully by using what's in front of us, we can see, oh, that rock over there is much shinier, much smoother, much nicer. And we jump over there. Never look back, right? Forgive and detach and move forward. But you've got to make use of what's available to you, and this is available to you right now. You're here, so try to make use of it. Try to follow precepts seriously. And on our Discord server and on our website, for that matter, there are resources, recommended books, recommended teachers, and you just keep you keep nourishing yourself, you keep coming back to it and not wasting your energy. Because the issue is we might even have some meditation experience, but more likely we just get a very strong idea in our mind about meditation experience, and maybe we appropriate that, or maybe we think that we've had that, maybe, and then we're lost in that not being actionable in our normal everyday lives because we're not in community with a teacher or with someone who has a lot of experience in meditation, or other fellow practitioners, which is probably the biggest part of it. Why do we need to be a teacher or experienced? Community of sincere, well-minded practitioners coming together. And you show up for that, and you're vulnerable for that, and you expose yourself to that. Okay?
Thank you.
Welcome.
I will get more involved.
Yeah, it's great.
I do have antisocial tendencies, but I'll try to be vulnerable.
Be vulnerable and be generous. It's one of the issues with our capitalistic culture is that if something's free, I don't want that. Right? Something's free, I'm not going to show up with that for that. Whereas if you have to pay for it, or you have to sign up, or there's some kind of payment plan, you better get your money's worth. So we've got to figure out an inroad there where even though it's free, even though the space is just open, somehow you make a commitment to show up for it. You show up for your practice, even though it's free, even though it's so accessible you can't even see it. Right? It's so accessible you can't access it. So when these way places come into being, right? Most of the time, this way place, our Discord, our online meditation center, is kind of dormant. But when the bell rings and this way place comes into being, and if you know about it, you show up and you get involved. Maybe you have something to say, right? But we do that through our generosity, not through hey, I want to say something. It's an offering. It's a sharing out. Okay. Thank you, Seth. Glad you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Hi, Bhante. I have a question.
Okay.
So, sometimes when I meditate, afterwards, I'm left with this feeling of emptiness, and it's been keeping me from most of the time consistently meditating because I don't know what to do with that feeling of emptiness, just not feeling anything at all.
Eat it.
So
Eat it. That's it. Eat it. Take a bath, go for a walk, keep meditating, keep practicing. This is it. This is our life. Sometimes I wish I could feel some emptiness. I'm just so lost, right? And actually, what you can do is you you bless your environment. You bless your body. You bless your mind. You bless the people around you, right? You bless with this emptiness. You offer it out. I see you've got a bed behind you. After this session's over, you stand up and you forgive your bed. Offer out the emptiness, the blessing of emptiness, the blessing of finishing, right? And this is a time to be more intimate with the body, more intimate with the heart, more intimate with the breathing, right? And you can do all kinds of different things. You can stretch, you can do push-up, you can do massage, take a bath, read a book, relax. there's a strong point to continuous practice. There's a strong point to connecting with something that's meaningful and valuable to us and just staying with it. Period. Right? We don't necessarily live that kind of life. You know, many of us don't have like a clear path moving forward to do all kinds of good deeds more and more. Right? Like we have to go to work. We don't see that many people. We don't necessarily know where to start in terms of doing good deeds or helping the others, which is really what we should be spending as much time as we can doing that. That's wonderful. That's great. Many of us don't have the community environment to do that. So we practice more mindfulness. We prioritize precepts. We prioritize doing good deeds. So when the opportunity is there, we will take action and we'll be generous, right? And face that emptiness. Like I said, eat it, breathe with it, be with it. Don't be afraid of yourself. And it's a rare opportunity because a lot of people, you know, they only know depression. They only know anxiety. They only know complicated thinking. So when you feel that emptiness, when you embody it, offer it out, widen it out, share it out.
Thank you.
Yeah. A little bit esoteric, but one of the things you can do, a temple in Thailand that I see you later, Ari. A temple in Thailand that I like quite a bit does this, and this is this is like a water blessing. So this is an example of what you could do. Fill up some water a little bit here. So you can get maybe a bottle of water or a container or a cat teapot full of water. Okay. And then you just kind of stand up and widen out your arms and open up your body, open up your eyes, ears, everything. And you just offer out the emptiness as you pour the water. And so maybe you can go outside and just pour it out. And you just relax the body, widen out. And bless and share and offer all that emptiness out. Offer all that forgiveness out. Offer all that finishing out. Offer out all that resolution out. All right? And just keep showing up. Keep showing up to the practice. Keep showing up to the precepts, mindfulness, the resources that we have here. Look into it. Make use of it. I highly recommend for anyone the Plum Village app. Plum Village app on your phone. And I know maybe we are coming from a more Western background, some of us. I certainly am. And, you know, there's this monk guy here. There's all these people. There's disco. What's going on? You know, what's really going on here? Well, I don't have an answer. So let's come and take a look, right, and see for ourselves. What's the worst that could happen? All right? And we oftentimes we think about what's the worst that could happen too much, right? What's the best that could happen? We come here to practice together, to support each other on the path, to emphasize virtue, meditation, and insight. Let's forgive each other and ourselves and practice mindful breathing. And when we we could put a disclaimer in front of these videos, or I could say it in front of these sessions, because you can't really turn back. Once you get, I remember after a 10-day Vipassana retreat, this is quite a few years ago, and the 10-day Vipassana retreats is one way you can go to a meditation retreat, but I finished that 10-day Vipassana retreat and I came home. And I sat in front of the TV with a sandwich, and I said, "It's party time now." That 10-day retreat, I'm done. I lost my mind in there. I was like, "Okay, I'm home. I'm gonna eat a sandwich and watch some of this TV." And I'll tell you what, it was very unsatisfactory. Right now, this is just something that will come up when you meditate very seriously, but we learn to process that depth. Right? And instead of being afraid of deepening, we open to it and we continue, we evolve from it, right? So that, sure, there are a lot of things we can still enjoy. That's just maybe a phase or a symptom that can come up if you practice really seriously. There are a lot of things that we can enjoy, but there's also a much more rewarding way of life that is about service and wholesome states of mind and peace and freedom, and not just about pleasure. And the more that we start to notice the unsatisfactoriness of just like meeting our desires and avoiding our fears and going into that unknown, the more that world becomes available to us. That world of service, that world of fearlessness, that world of forgiveness, that world of beginning anew. And a lot of people need that, not just you or me. So let's do it. Let's continue. Let's help. Okay, James?
Thank you.
All right. It's
That
great.
helped me a lot.
Yeah, great to see you here. Glad that you're here. Whatever we may get involved with or whatever we may do, bring mindfulness to it. Then you don't need to be trapped by the trap. Oh, I need to meditate. Oh, I need to do this. I need to do that. You should meditate. You should to meditate. And you can, and there will be many opportunities for you to meditate and do very specific good deeds. And you should prioritize that. And then when those opportunities come up, you'll do it. You'll take advantage of it, right? But whatever you happen to be doing, whether it's good or bad or enlightenment or going straight down to hell, right where you belong, right? Be mindful. Know you're breathing. Know that you're there. Be there with yourself. Hold yourself in the midst of your sloth and torpor and forgetfulness. Remember. Then you can be sure that you are not forgetting what's most important, which is to come home. Every breath, every movement of the body, every sight, every sound, every feeling, every thought is to come home. Okay, we can finish here for today. Let's share the merit. So merit is a simple concept. If you do good deeds, you get lucky. If you do bad deeds, you get unlucky. That's what it seems to be for me. But no, it's when we do good deeds, there is a good effect, right? And when we come together to meditate, to be mindful, to listen to the Dhamma, the Buddhist teaching, or helpful teachings, to alleviate our suffering, we accrue merits, right? So you may feel the power of emptiness. After a session like this, you may feel the power of peacefulness. You may feel the power of patience. You may feel the power of forgiveness. Whatever it is, it's a lot of good effects from our good deeds. So as a finishing move, we devote those good effects to all beings throughout space and time. So I invite everyone to unmute their microphones, and we will all bring our hands together and share our good effects, our peace, our happiness, our depth with all. Okay? Can bring your hands together and repeat after me. May all the merits that we have done till now
May all the merits that we've done till now
be dedicated and shared out toward all beings,
be dedicated and shared out toward all beings,
whether they are near or far,
whether they are near or far,
good or bad,
good or bad,
liked or disliked.
liked or disliked.
May all beings rejoice and share in our merits.
May all beings rejoice and share in our merits.
May it be, may it
May
be,
it be. May it be.
may it truly be.
May it be.
Hallelujah. We can all take a deep bow. Okay, dear Sangha, thank you all so much for being here with me, and see you again soon. I also, before I go, just want to express my gratitude, thanks, and appreciation to all the donors and supporters who make my life possible. I may not be able to reach you personally, but I am very grateful, and please know that I am so happy you are here for me, and I am here for you as well. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Bhante. We're grateful for you.
Okay,
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
It
Bhante.
was so good to be with you. Thank you, Bhante.
all right, bye-bye. And thank you to the friend who shared the super chat on Nathaniel Cook. Thank you very much. Who shared that on YouTube. And hello to everyone who watched on Facebook. Don't be shy to send me a message or check out our website at monklife.one. And for the friends on YouTube, please do leave a like, leave a comment. It helps our little live streams here to be recommended and shared to more people. So it's very supportive if you do leave a like and support that way. Thank you.